Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Sit down, please. I'd like to speak English today too, to improve my speaking skill. Let's get it started. Today, it is on March 18th, 2024. It's on Monday and sunny. How are you spending Monday? Do you have a work or school today? Or have you already finished working or studying? High school baseball tournament has just started. Are you interested in watching a high school baseball game? Which high school do you think will win the championship? Which high school do you think will win the championship in the tournament? National high school tournament is televised twice a year, as far as I know, in spring and summer. The high school tournament held in summer seems to be more popular than that in spring. If I hadn't left my house 5 minutes earlier, I couldn't have got to the office in time. Hadn't I left my house 30 minutes earlier than usual, I couldn't have been in time for the meeting, owing to the traffic congestion, on account of traffic congestion, due to traffic congestion, because of traffic congestion. If it hadn't been for water, we could not have lived. If it had not been for morning set A, I would have ordered morning set B. Had it not been for coffee, I couldn't have passed the examination. I don't have passed the examination. If it had not been for coffee, I couldn't have concentrated on my study well. If it had not been for coffee, I couldn't have passed the examination. Had it not been for coffee, I couldn't have passed the examination. If it had not been for car accident along the expressway, we could have been in time for the meeting. Had it not been for traffic congestion along the expressway, I could have been in time for the meeting. Had it not been for sale in the store, I wouldn't have entered the store. Had it not been for big sale at the store, I wouldn't have entered. Had it not been for any purposes, I wouldn't have gone there. If it had not been for any purposes, I wouldn't have gone there. Had it not been for any purposes, I wouldn't have gone there. If it were not for water, we could not live. Were it not for water, we could not live. Were it not for water, we could not live. If I should be able to restart my life again, I would try to be a doctor to help the patients with the same diseases as mine. If I should be able to restart my life again, I would try to be a doctor to help patients with the same diseases as mine. If I should be able to restart my life again from junior high school, I would study much harder, by far harder, far and away harder, far harder, much harder, a lot harder, even harder, still harder. Should I be able to restart my life again from elementary school, I would study so hard. If I should win the lottery, maybe it would be almost impossible to keep it secret. Should I win the lottery of such amount of money, such a good deal of money, such a great deal of money, it would be almost impossible to keep it secret. Had it not been for coffee, I couldn't have passed the examination. Had it not been for energy drink and coffee, I'd have fallen asleep during the class. If it had not been for energy drink and coffee, I would have fallen asleep during the boring class. Had it not been for energy drink and coffee, I might have fallen asleep during the class. Had it not been for energy drink and coffee, I would have fallen asleep. Had it not been for coffee and energy drink, I might have fallen asleep. Had it not been for music course in the high school, I wouldn't have chosen to enter the high school. Had it not been for any purposes, I wouldn't have gone there. Had it not been for any purposes, I wouldn't have paid a visit there. Had it not been for any purposes, I wouldn't have paid a visit there. Had it not been for traffic congestion along the expressway, I could have been in time for the meeting. If it had not been for any problems along the expressway, including traffic accidents, we could have been in time for the meeting. Had it not been for my careless mistakes on the examination, I could have passed it. It's totally my fault. Had it not been for careless mistakes on the examination, I could have passed it. But for music, our life would be more boring. Without music, our life would be more boring. But for sufferings, we wouldn't feel happiness. Without sufferings, we wouldn't even feel happy. We wouldn't feel happy. We wouldn't even feel happy. But for bread for breakfast, I would have eaten noodles. Without bread for breakfast, I would have eaten noodles. I wish I had a great skill as you. I wish I had as great skill in playing the guitar as you. I wish I had as great skill in playing the guitar as professionals. If only I had the same great skill in playing the guitar as professionals. I wish I had as great skill in playing the piano as professionals. If only I had as great skill in playing the piano as professionals, I would play the street piano. If only I had the same skill. If only I had as great skill in playing the piano as professionals, I would play the street piano. If only I had as great skill in playing the piano as professionals, I would play street piano. If only I had as great skill in playing the piano as professionals, I would play the street piano. If only I had as great skill in playing the piano as professionals, I would play the street piano. But for confidence, he wouldn't run for the mayor. Without confidence, she wouldn't run for the mayor. But for confidence, the candidate would not run for the governor. But for confidence, she wouldn't run for the governor. Without confidence, he wouldn't run for the election. Without confidence, he wouldn't run for the election. But for public transportations, our lifestyle would be totally different. And it must be very inconvenient compared to now. Without public transportations, our lifestyle would be very inconvenient. But for public transportations, our lifestyle would be totally different. Without cars, drunk driving would not exist. Without alcohol, drunk driving would not exist. But for alcohol, car accidents created by drunk driving would not exist. Without alcohol, traffic accidents caused by drunk driving would not exist. But for alcohol, car accidents give rise to by drunk driving. Drunk driving wouldn't exist. Without alcohol, traffic accidents given rise to by drunk driving wouldn't exist. But for careless mistakes in the examination, I would have passed it. Without careless mistakes in the examination, I would have passed it. But for sufferings, we wouldn't even feel happiness. Without sufferings, we wouldn't even feel happy. But for sufferings, we wouldn't even feel happy. Thanks to feeling sufferings, we would feel happy. I wish I had as great skill in playing the piano as professionals. I'm always afraid of parking my car in another space, for I don't have a great skill in driving my car. I don't have a great skill. I don't have great skill in driving my car. I wish I had as great skill in driving cars as professionals. If only I had as great skill in driving my car as professionals. Skill in manipulating people, skill in alluring people, skill in controlling people, skill in controlling people, skill in programming C, skill in writing programs, skill in operation, skill in manipulating people, skill in hiding, skill in persuading people to do something, skill in programming C, skill in programming C, skill in information literature, skill in cooking, skill in operating the machine, skill in operating machine, skill in playing the guitar, skill in writing programming, skill in writing programming, skill in writing programming words, 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 skill in programming C, skill in writing programming, skill in writing programming, skill in writing programming, skill in writing programming, skill in writing programming words, 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 programming words, programming words, programming words, skill in writing 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 programming words, programming words, skill in writing programming words, programming words, programming words. Skill in writing programming words, skill in operation, skill in operation, skill driving a car, skill in 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 the operation, skill in the operation, skill in driving a car, skill in driving a car, skill in driving a car, skill in writing programming, skill in writing driving programming, skill in writing programming words, 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 programming words, programming words, skill in writing programming words, skill in writing programming words, skill in writing programming words. I suggested that we should stay at a nearby hotel from the venue just in case the day before. I suggested that we should stay at a nearby hotel from the venue. My music teacher suggested that I should play the piano, street piano. My music teacher suggested that I play the street piano. My family doctor requested that I should refrain from drinking coffee for a time being. My family doctor requested for my health that I should refrain from drinking a cup of coffee every morning to treat my disease well. My family doctor ordered me that I refrain from drinking coffee for at least a month to help cure my disease. My parents requested that I study for at least 3 hours after school. My boss requested that I work overtime today. My boss requested that I should work overtime today. The job description requests that the candidate have a TOEIC score more than 900 as prerequisite. The job description requests that the candidate must have TOEIC score of more than 900 as prerequisite. The job description stipulates that all candidates must meet the requirement, including TOEIC score of more than 900. The job description stipulates that all of the candidates must meet the requirements, including TOEIC score of more than 900 as prerequisite. The job description stipulates that all of the candidates must meet the requirements and read them carefully before submitting the resume. It is urgent that I should finish the task by Friday. It is urgent that I bring the tasks to an end. It is urgent that I put an end to the task by Friday. It is urgent that we prepare the room for the imminent meeting. It is urgent that we clear the road of any obstacles in preparation for the unexpected visit by our president. It is urgent that we clean the floor and gather in front of the entrance to welcome the president. It is necessary that you take the vitamin pills as you are told by your doctor. It is necessary that you take the medicines as you are told by your doctor. It is necessary that you arrive at the destination 30 minutes earlier than the decided time. It is necessary that you be at the destination 30 minutes earlier. It is essential that you visit the destination one day before to see around, to get information enough. It is essential that we take vitamins, nutrients, as well as protein. It is essential that we take nutrients, not only calories. It is urgent that I put an end to the task by Friday. It is urgent that I put an end to the task by Friday. It is urgent that I put the tasks to an end by Friday. It is urgent that I bring the tasks to an end by Friday. It is urgent that we deliver the orders to each destination by today, because all of them are tagged express. It is urgent that I submit the application by today, so that it will arrive at the university in time for the deadline. It is urgent that I dropped my application form at the post office by today, in order that it will arrive at the university in time for the deadline. It is urgent that I submit the application form to the university by today, in order that it will arrive at the university in time for the deadline. It is urgent that I should hand in my thesis to my professor by deadline today. It is urgent that I should turn my thesis in to my professor by today deadline. It is important that we stack up a daily small effort in order to achieve a big one. It is important that we stack up a small daily effort. It is important that we should pile up a small daily effort in order to make a breakthrough, in order to make a feat. It's a pity that you might have to leave this office. It's such a pity that you should be able to, you should leave this office. It's such a pity. It's such pity. It's pity that you leave this office by the end of this month. It's too good to lose. It is necessary that you get to the international airport at least 2 hours prior to the departure time. It is essential that you arrive at the international airport at least 2 hours ahead of the departure time. It is important that you reach the international airport at least 2 hours prior to the departure time. It is important that you should arrive at the international airport at least 2 hours before the departure time. Okay? It is essential that you should reach the international airport at least 2 hours before the departure time, not examination. It's essential that we follow the rules. It is essential that we should follow the rules. It is essential that we obey the rules. We adhere to the rules. It is essential that we adhere to the rules. It is essential that we should adhere to the rules. It is essential that we should adhere to the rules. It is essential that we should adhere to the rules. It is essential that we should adhere to the rules. It is essential that we work on something perpetually, permanently, everlastingly, eternally, for good, forever, with a lot of passion, in order to accomplish a breakthrough. It is essential that we should work on something on a daily basis with a lot of passion, enthusiasm, in order to make breakthrough. possible. It is essential that we work so hard in order to achieve a breakthrough. It is necessary that you be present at all of the classes to get the credit. It is necessary that you be present at all of the classes in order to get the credit. Regarding the lecture of Professor A, it is essential that you be present at all of his lectures so as to get the credit. Even if you get higher score on the examination, you cannot get the credit unless you are present at all of his lectures. So please bear that in mind. So please keep that in mind. It is essential that you be present at all of his lectures. It is essential that you should be present at all of his lectures. If I could restart my life again, I would study so hard with a view to becoming a doctor. If I could teleport back in the past, I would meet my ancestors. If I could slip back in time to the past, I would meet my ancestors. If I could time slip to the past, I would study harder and challenge more things without fearness. If I could slip back to the past, I would meet my ancestors. If I could restart my life again, I would study far harder, by far harder, far and away harder, much harder, a lot harder, even harder, so as to become a doctor, physician, surgeon, physician, surgeon. If only I had known the information beforehand, I would have got the coupon. If only I had known the information, I would have made a shopping with the coupon. I was not sure if I could use the coupon. If only I had information, I would have made a shopping with a coupon. If only I had known the information about the congestion around the ferry terminal, I wouldn't have had access there with my car. I wouldn't have access. I wouldn't have had access to the ferry terminal with my car. If I had known the information of heavy traffic congestion around the ferry terminal, I wouldn't have had access. I wouldn't have had access. I wouldn't have access there with my car. If only I had known the salesperson was introducing a fraudulent scheme, I wouldn't have contracted it. I wouldn't have signed the contract. If only there were no congestion in the restaurant, I'd like to have a lunch there. I'd like to have a lunch there. If only there were not many people during the lunchtime in the restaurant, I would eat lunch there. I would eat lunch there. Had I studied harder in my teens, I would be having a totally different life now. Had I studied harder in my teens, I would be leading a totally different life now. If only I had as great skill in playing the piano as professionals, I would play the street piano. If only I had as great skill in playing the piano as professionals, I would play the street piano. If only I had as great skill in playing the piano as professionals, I'd like to play the street piano. Were I you, I would take the advantage of the best environment. If I were you, I would make the most of the abundant environment, blessed environment. If I were you, I would make the most of your blessed environment. Were I you, I would make the most of the blessed environment with anti-sound room in the ground. If I had been ignored by the hotel staff, I would have got angry. I would have gotten angry. If I had made the purchase on Monday, it would be here now. If I had made a purchase on Monday, the merchandise would have arrived here on Friday, by Friday. If I had made a purchase on Monday, it must have arrived here on Friday. If I had made the purchase on Monday, it must have arrived here by Friday. If I had made the purchase with expressway, with express delivery, it would have arrived here yesterday. If I had made the purchase with express delivery, it would have arrived here on the following day. If I had made the purchase with express delivery, it would have arrived here on the following day. Had I made the purchase with express delivery, it would have arrived here on the following day. Had I made the purchase with express delivery, it would have arrived here. It would have arrived here on the following day. It would have arrived here on the following day. Had I made a purchase of the merchandise on Monday with express delivery, it would have been delivered here on the following day. Had I made a purchase on Monday with express delivery, it would have been delivered on the following day. Had I made the purchase of the product on Monday with express delivery, it would have been delivered here on the following day. Had I made a purchase of the product on Monday with express delivery, it would have been delivered here on the following day. It would have been delivered here on the following day. It would have been delivered here on the following day. It would have been delivered here on the following day. It would have been delivered here on the following day. It would have been delivered here on the following day. It's time. Our guest arrived here. It's about time our guest arrived here. It's high time the guests arrived here. It's time we ate dinner. It's high time we ate dinner. It's about time we ate dinner. It's time we ate lunch. It's high time we ate lunch. It's about time we ate lunch. It's time we had a break. It's time we had a break. It's about time we had a break. It's high time we had a break. It's about time the flight landed at international airport. It's about time the flight landed. It's high time the flight landed. It's time the company released a new game console. It's about time the company released a new game console. It's about time. It's high time that the company released a new game console. It's about time the company released a new game console. Are you waiting for the company to release a new game console? Console. Console my spirit. My devastated console. Please console my devastated console spirit. Soul. It's time. The lunch was ready. It's about time the lunch was ready. It's high time the lunch was ready. It's time we went back to the office. It's high time we went back to the office. It's about time we went back to the office. It's time the orders were delivered. It's about time the orders were delivered. It's high time the orders were delivered. It's time the game started. It's high time the game started. It's about time the game started. It is time the game started. It is high time the game started. It is about time the game started. It is about time the game started. It is about time the game started. It is high time the game started. It is time we had a lunch break. It is high time we had a lunch break. It is about time we had a lunch break. It is time that we had a lunch break. It is high time we had a lunch break. It is about time we had a lunch break. I wish I could play the piano as well as professionals. I wish I had a lot of money. I wish I had as much money as billionaires. I wish I could monetize my channel. I wish I could monetize my channel. I wish I had had more courage enough to be able to propose to her. I wish I had studied longer. I wish I had studied much harder when I was in my teens. I wish I had studied harder when I was in my teens. I wish I had stayed longer. I wish I could have stayed longer when I visited Hawaii. I felt the 3 days like one day. I wish I were a bird. I would fly to the window of your room to wake you up every morning. I wish I were a bird. I would enjoy flying in the sky. I wish I were a bird. I would enjoy flying in the sky. I wish I were a bird. I would enjoy flying in the sky. I wish I were skillful at playing the piano as professionals. I wish I were skillful at playing the piano as professionals. I wish I were as skillful at playing the piano as professionals. I wish I were as skillful at playing the piano as professionals. I wish I were as skillful, adept, excellent at playing the piano as professionals. I'd play street piano. I wish I had studied harder in my teens. I wish I had followed the rules. Then the accident would never have happened. Wouldn't have happened. I wish I had listened to carefully the advice from the locals, and then I wouldn't have been involved in the accident. I wouldn't have been involved in the accident. I wish I had entered a different high school. I wish I had entered a different high school. I wish I had entered a different high school. I wish I had entered a different high school. I wish I had entered different high school. I wish I had enrolled in a different high school. I wish I had enrolled in a different high school. I wish I had enrolled in a different high school. I wish I had enrolled in a different high school. I wish I had entered a different high school. I wish I had entered a different high school. I wish I had entered a different high school. I wish I had enrolled in a different high school. I wish I had enrolled in a different high school. I wish I could have stayed longer. I wish I had proposed to her. I wish I had challenged more things in my teens. I wish I had challenged more things in my teens. I wish I had challenged more things in my teens. I wish I had challenged more things in my teens. I wish I could have arrived there 30 minutes earlier. I wish I could have gone to his concert. I wish I could have and I wish I would have tried the local food when I was there. I wish I would have tried the newly opened restaurant around the corner when I visited there. When I visited there. I wish I would have tried the local to restaurant food. I wish I had been knowledgeable at that time when I made that purchase. And then I wouldn't been deceived by the fraudulent person. I wish I could have understood it. I wish I could have understood it. I wish I could have understood the situation. I wish I could have comprehended the math question. I wish I could have understood. I wish I could have understood. I wish I could have figured out. I wish I could have figured it out. I wish I could have figured it out. Figured it out. I wish I could have 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 figured out a math question. I wish I could have figured out a math question. I wish I could have figured out the math question. I wish I could have completed the task. I wish I could have obtained a week-long vacation then. I wish I would have been rich enough then. I wish I had been rich enough then. The karaoke party was so fun. I wish I could have enjoyed it longer. The suite room of the hotel was so comfortable. I wish I could have stayed there longer. I wish I could have stayed longer. I wish I could have stayed there longer. I wish I could have stayed longer. I wish I could have stayed there longer. Some merchandises in the advertisement were so cheap, but there was limitation to the number up to which we could buy. I wish I could have bought more. I wish I could have bought more. There were some merchandises on sale in the advertisement, but limitation was adapted to the number up to which we could buy. I wish I could have bought more. I wish I could have bought more. There were some good dealings on sale, but there was a limitation to of the number up to which we could buy. I wish I could buy. I wish I could have bought more. I wish I could have bought more. I wish I could have bought more in stock, so that I could keep them in stock. There were some good dealings in the advertisement. There were some good dealings on sale in the advertisement, but the limitation to the number was adapted. The limitation to the number up to which we could buy was adapted. I wish I could have bought more. I wish I could have bought more. I wish I could have bought more. I wish I could have bought more so that I could keep them in stock just in case. I wish I would have left my house 10 minutes earlier, and then I wouldn't have been involved in the accident. I wish I could have passed examination on the first year. I wish I could have passed examination. 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 I wish I could have passed examination at that time. I wish I could have passed examination. I wish I could have passed examination. I wish I could have passed examination. I wish I could have passed examination on the first year. I wish I could have passed examination. I wish I could have passed the entrance examination. I wish I could have passed the entrance examination. I wish I could have passed the entrance examination. I wish I could have passed the entrance examination. I wish I could have passed the entrance examination. I wish I could have passed the entrance examination. I wish I could have passed the entrance examination. I wish I could have stayed longer. I wish I could have passed the examination. I wish I could have passed the entrance examination. I wish I could have passed the entrance examination. I wish I could have passed the entrance examination. Guessing from the decreasing population, the country might be obliged to resort to immigrants in order to cover staffing shortages. As the population has been diminishing, the country might end up relying on immigrants to cover the staffing shortages. Since the population has been decreasing, the country might end up counting on immigrants to cover the staffing shortages. Since the population has been decreasing, the country might end up turning to immigrants so as to cope with the staffing shortages. I often confuse the word immigrant with emigrant. I often confuse the word immigrant and emigrant. I often confuse the word immigrant with emigrant. Immigrant and emigrant. Immigrant and emigrant. I often confuse the word between immigrant and emigrant. I often confuse the word immigrant with emigrant. Where can I have my passport reissued? If I were to drop it, if I should drop it. If I were to drop my passport in a foreign country, where can I have it reissued? Where can I get it reissued? Embassy? Consulate? Or where? Had I been in the same situation as you, I couldn't have endured the hard training. Had I been in the same environment as you, in the dormitory room, with 4 other people, I couldn't have endured the snoring sound. If I had been in the same environment as you in the dormitory room, with 8 other guests, I couldn't have endured the snoring sound. I couldn't have endured the snoring sound. I couldn't put up with, I couldn't have bared the snoring sound. I couldn't have stood the snoring sound. I couldn't have put up with the snoring sound. I've been enduring both mental and physical hardships everyone else have ever experienced. I have been enduring both physical and mental pressures. A life might be a series of suffering from both mentally and physically pain. We might not be set free from such sufferings. That's the way we lead a life may be. I don't know. I have been going through both physical and mental pain. I have been going through physical and mental pain. I have been enduring both physical and mental pain. I have been dealing with both physical and mental pain. I have been enduring mental and physical pain. If I had been in the same environment as you in the dormitory room, I couldn't have endured the snoring sound. Had I been in the same environment as you in the dormitory room of 8 other guests, I couldn't have endured the snoring sound. I couldn't have endured the snoring sound. Had I been in the same environment as you in the dormitory room of 8 other guests, with 8 other guests, I couldn't have endured the snoring sound. I couldn't have endured the snoring sound. I couldn't have endured the snoring sound. I endured many things everyone else cannot. I've been enduring many both mental and physical sufferings, which everyone else cannot get over, overcome, and so on. I have been enduring mental and physical pain, which not many people can overcome. A little bit of amendment will be added to the script. Many amendments were added to my script. Many amendments were added to my script. Much amendment was added to my essay. Much amendment was made to my essay. Many amendments were added to my essay. Many amendments were added to my essay. How much will it cost to the amendment of my bike? If it is too much, I will buy a new one. How much will it cost for the amendment of my bike? How much will it cost for the amendment of my bike, for the fix of my bike? Amendment of the essay, amendment of the law. Some experts argue that the drastic amendments of the law should be necessary. Some experts argue that drastic amendment of the current educational laws is necessary, important, essential, imminent. Some specialists argue that the amendment of the current educational law is necessary. Some experts argue that the drastic amendment of the current educational law is necessary. Some specialists add that drastic amendment of the educational law is necessary. Amendment. The amendment deregulating the law was rejected. The amendment of deregulating the border measures were approved. The amendment allowing people under 20 and older than 18 to give the authority to vote was approved. The new amendment allowing people over the age of 18 to go for a vote was approved. The amendment allowing people over the age of 18 to get the authority to vote at election polling stations was approved. The amendment allowing people over the age of 18 to get the authority to vote at the polling stations was approved, admitted, passed into law. The amendment allowing people over the age of 18 to have the right to vote at the polling stations was passed into law. The amendment allowing people over the age of 18 to have the right to vote at the polling stations was passed into law. Amendment. Everyone should be judged regardless of our each race. Everyone should be valued fairly, in spite of our race, despite our race. Everybody should be treated fairly, regardless of our race, in spite of our race, despite our race. Everybody ought to be treated fairly above board, regardless of our race, in spite of our race, despite our race. It was in the middle of midnight, but we went to eat gyoza, regardless. Exhausted as I was, I went to the restaurant with my cousin at 0:30 a.m. regardless. Everyone ought to be treated fairly, regardless of racial difference. Everybody should be treated fairly, in spite of racial difference. Everybody ought to be treated fairly, in spite of racial difference. I'd like the government to take the hardships in the tourism industry into account when they discuss the budget. I'd like the government to take the serious situation in freelancer into account when they make the budget. I want the government to take the serious situation in freelancer, self-employed people into consideration when they make the budget, when they discuss the measures, stimulus measures. I'd like the government to take the serious situation in particular industries into account when they discuss stimulus measures. Take the higher cost on weekends into account. Take the higher fees on weekends into consideration. Take the higher cost on weekends in many services into account. Take it into account that we have to pay more on weekends in many services. Bear that in mind. Bear in mind that we have to pay more on weekends usually in many services, especially accommodations and flight tickets. Take the traffic congestion on weekends into account when you plan the itinerary. Take the traffic congestion into consideration when you make the itinerary. When you make the itinerary, please take the traffic congestion on the road into account. When you make the itinerary, please take the closing time of the facility into consideration so that the guests and you can enjoy the service as scheduled. Take the higher service fees on weekends into account. Take the higher service fees into consideration. Take the higher service fees on weekends into consideration. Take the higher costs on weekends into consideration. Take the limitation to the budget into consideration. Take the limitation to the budget into account. Take your health. Take the calorie into account. Take the calorie into account. Taking driving hours into consideration. Take working in Tokyo into account. Take working in Osaka into consideration. Needless to say, I'm not interested in the seminar. Needless to say, I'm not going to take part in the seminar. It's a waste of time and energy. Needless to say, many service fees are high on weekends. Needless to say, many tourist spots are crowded with tourists during the sakura season. Needless to say, many tourist spots are bustle and hustle with tourists during the sakura season, cherry blossom season. Needless to say, many tourist spots are crowded with tourists during the sakura season. I cannot drink alcoholic beverages, much less drink whiskey. Let alone drink whiskey. I cannot speak German, much less write it. Let alone write it. Needless to say, it seems to be rainy tomorrow. Needless to say, eating vegetables is not important that we have take a break regularly. I watched the news in which refugees were claiming for relief aid, immediate relief aid. I watched a news from the TV in which the refugees were asking for immediate relief aid. I watched the news in which the refugees were calling for immediate delivery of the relief aid. Refugees. I read the news in which the refugees were calling for, asking for, claiming for, appealing for immediate delivery of the relief aid. A rope was thrown to the refugees stranded off the coast, stranded off the ground in the middle of the river. The refugees stranded in the middle of the river were rescued with the rope. I used to long for becoming a doctor. I used to long for becoming a doctor. I used to long for becoming a doctor. What do you long for the most? What are you longing for in that trip? Eating sushi or visiting Disneyland? I've been longing for playing the piano as well as professionals. I've been longing for improving my skill as awesomely as professionals. I have been longing for improving my skill in playing the piano as well as the professionals. I have been longing for improving my skill in playing the piano drastically. I've been longing for visiting Hawaii someday. I have been longing for becoming rich. I have been longing for becoming rich. I have been longing for becoming rich. I have been longing for becoming rich by earning a lot of money from my YouTube videos. But first I have to monetize my channel. I have been longing for becoming rich. I have been longing for becoming a billionaire. 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 Freedom of speech is secure to a certain extent. Freedom expression, freedom of speech is secured to some degrees, to some extent, but criticizing is not good. Freedom of speech and freedom of expression are secure to a certain extent, but criticizing others enough to injure mentally is not good. Freedom of expression and freedom of speech are secured to a certain extent, to some degrees, to some extent, but criticizing others enough to mentally injure others should be penalized. Freedom of expression and freedom of speech are secure to a certain extent, but those criticizing others in a terrible, in a wicked way, enough to make him or her injured mentally should be penalized. I long for becoming a doctor. I long for becoming a musician. I long for becoming rich. I would often long for becoming a superhero like the one televised on TV. I I would also long for becoming a superhero depicted in the movie. I would often long for becoming a superhero like the one depicted in the movies. I would often long for becoming a superhero as the ones depicted in the movies. I would often long for becoming a superhero like the one depicted in the movies or animations. I would often long for becoming a superhero like the one depicted in the anime. I would often long for becoming a superhero like the one depicted in the movies or animes. According to a survey, 1 in 4 people are said to be obesity in the country. According to an information, 1 out of 4 people in the country are obesity. According to a survey, 1 in 7 students in the class is said to have difficulty in keeping pace with the lecture. According to a survey, 1 in 7 students are said to have difficulty in keeping pace with the lecture at school. According to a survey, 1 in 7 students are said to have trouble in keeping up with the lectures. According to a survey, 1 in 2 people lost trust in the politician after the corruption. One in 3 students is men in the university. One in 3 students is men in the university. One in 10 pedestrians had a qualification. One in 10 correspondents said okay with the interview without mosaic. One in 100 households accepted the contract by the salesperson. One out of the 6 sushi is said include a lot of wasabi horseradish as a prank. 1 out of 7 sushi is said to include wasabi horseradish as a prank. One in 7 sushi, hand-rolled sushi, is said to include a lot of horseradish as a prank. Let's start the game. Let's get the game started. Let's get the started. 1 out of 10 sushi includes a lot of sushi, a lot of wasabi horseradish as a blank. One or two in 10 merchandise I bought from the store had flaws. 1 or 2 in 10 products I bought from the store had defects. Two in 10 products I bought from the appliance store had defects, but I could get them exchanged with new ones. 2 out of 3 products I bought from the store had defects, but I could have them exchanged with new ones because it was totally not my fault. It was totally fault of the store. One in 10 students seems to go to the University of Tokyo from the high school. One in 100 students go to the University of Tokyo every year from the high school. 2 in 3 clothes are black. 2 out of 10 clothes are blue. 2 out of 10 clothes are black. 2 out of 3 clothes are red. 5 in the 10 clothes are white. 3 in the 10 clothes are white. 3 in the 10 clothes are white. 2 in the 7 days are my day offs. 2 out of 10 days are my day offs. 2 out of 7 days in a week are my day offs. 2 of the 7 days in a week are my holidays. 2 out of 7 days in a week are my day offs. 2 in 7 days. 2 in 7 days are my day offs. Three in 36 students in the class forgot to bring the homework to school. 3 in the 36 students forgot to bring the homework to school. 2 in the 36 students flunked the math and they had to take the extra class. 2 out of 36 students in the class flunked the math test. 2 out of the 36 students flunked physics test. 3 in 36 students in the class flunked physics. 3 in 36 students flunked mathematics. 4 in 36 students flunked physics. 3 in 40 students in the class flunked physics. Three in 5 people are said to be indifferent to the politics. One in 40 students in the school is from different prefecture. One in 30 students in the class comes from a different prefecture. 1 in 40 students in the class comes from a different country. 1 in 40 students in the class comes from a different country. 1 out of 40 students in the school comes from a different country. 1 in 50 employees in the company comes from a different country. 1 in 30 employees in the company comes from a different country. 1 out of 30 employees comes from a different country. 1 out of 30 students in the class comes from a different country. Three out of 10 toilets in the university are for women. 3 out of 10 toilets in the university are for women. One in 100 books in the shelf is related to academics. 1 out of 40 books arranged in the bookshelf is related to mathematics. Related to mathematics. 1 in 50 books arranged in the bookshelf is in relation to academics. 2 in the 10 places we are going to visit are remote islands. 2 in 10 places we are going to visit are remote islands. 2 hotels out of 10 hotels. 2 in 10 hotels are not known yet. 1 in 3 hotels we are going to stay in are not informed yet. 1 of the 3 hotels has not been informed yet. 1 of the 3 hotels we are going to stay in has not been informed yet. 1 of the 3 hotels has not been informed yet. It will be soon notified as of that. As far as I looked around, 3 in 5 passengers were vomiting on the ferry. As far as I looked around, about 2 in 3 passengers were throwing up on the ferry. As far as I looked around, 3 in 5 tourists were foreigners in the tourist spot. As far as I looked around, 1 in 2 people were ordering the same menu. As far as I looked around, 1 in 10 visitors ordered the special menu A. As far as I looked around, 1 in 10 passengers was from foreign country. As far as I looked around in a restaurant, about 1 in 10 people were eating curry. Two in the 40 students flunked mathematics. 2 in 40 students flunked mathematics. 2 in the 40 students in the class flunked physics. 3 in 40 students in the class flunked physics. Ten in the 40 students in the class got a driving license before graduating from the high school. 10 out of 40 students in the class got a driving license before graduating from the high school. Three in the 50 employees in the department can speak German. 3 in the 40 employees in the department can speak Italian. 3 in the 40 employees in the department can speak English. 3 in 5 people in this community are from secret place. 3 in 5 people in this community likes rock music. 3 in 5 people in this community like rock music. 3 in 5 passengers claimed the feeling of vomiting. 1 in 7 students in the school has difficulty in keeping up with the lecture. 5 out of 100 products I bought from the store had defects. 2 or 3 in 100 products I bought from the store had defects, flaws. 1 out of 5 products I bought from the store had flaws. One out of 20 items I bought from the online store was sent to a different address. 1 out of 10 products I bought from the store was sent to a different address. One in 10 students in the university it's rumor, it's said to take the same year again for failing to earn enough credits. One in 10 students in the university is said to take the same year again for failing to earn enough credits. One in 10 students in the university is said to take the same year again for failing to earn enough credits. 1 out of 10 students in the university is said to take the same year again for failing to earn enough credits. 1 in 10 students in the university is said to take the same year again for failing to earn enough credits. 1 in 10 sushi is said to include a lot of wasabi horseradish, a good deal of wasabi horseradish, a great deal of wasabi horseradish, a large number of wasabi horseradish. 2 out of 10 products I bought from the online shop had defects. 3 in 5 students are not satisfied with the lunch quality. 3 in 5 students in the school eat lunch at the school cafe. 3 in 5 students have lunch at the school cafe. 3 in 5 students bring lunchbox to school. 2 out of 5 students bring lunchbox to the school. 3 in 5, 3 in 5, 3 out of 5, 3 in 5, 3 in 5, 3 in 5, 3 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 3 in 5, 3 in 5, 3 in 5, 3 out of 5, 4 out of 6, 4 out of 6, 4 out of 6, 4 out of 6, 4 in 6, 4 in 6, 4 in 6, 4 in 6. 4 in 10, 4 in 10, 4 out of 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 10. 2 out of 10 sushi are with a good deal of wasabi horseradish as blank. 2 in 10 sushi include a great deal of wasabi horseradish. 1 in 10 sushi includes a lot of wasabi horseradish, plenty of wasabi horseradish, lots of wasabi horseradish. 1 in 5 students in the university has dyed their hair brown. 1 in 5 students in the university have dyed their hair brown. One in 5 students in a university have their hair dyed brown. One in 5 students in the university has his or her hair brown. One in 4 students in the university has dyed his or her hair brown. 1 in 4 students in the university has dyed his or her hair brown. 2 out of 10 sushi includes lots of wasabi horseradish as prank. 2 out of 10 sushi includes a lot of wasabi horseradish as prank. 2 in 10 pieces of cake were eaten by me. 2 out of 10 pieces of cake were eaten by me. 2 in 10 pieces of cake were eaten by me. 9 out of 10 tasks were dealt with by the Savior. 9 in 10 tasks were dealt with by the Savior. 9 out of 10 tasks were dealt with by the Savior. 9 out of 10 tasks were coped with by one employee, so-called Savior. So, what is called Savior? So to speak, Savior. What is, as it were, Savior? One in 10 respondents answered in favor of the policy. 1 in 10 respondents answered in favor of the policy. 1 in 10 respondents answered against the policy. 2 in 10 respondents answered in favor of the policy. 2 out of the 10 respondents answered in favor of the policy. 2 out of 10 passengers claimed against the driver for violent driving. 1 in 8 customers pay in cash in the convenience store. 2 in 10 customers pay with smartphone. 2 in 10 customers in the convenience store pay with a prepaid card. Two in 10 customers pay online cash in the convenience store. 3 in 10 customers in the convenience store pay with the online cash. Three in 10 customers in the convenience store pay online through a smartphone. 3 in 10 customers in the convenience store use a smartphone to to pay for what they have bought. 2 in 10 customers in the convenience store use a smartphone to pay for what they have bought. 2 out of 10 customers in a convenience store use a smartphone to pay. 2 out of 10 customers pay electrically through their smartphones in the convenience store. 3 in 10 customers pay electrically. 3 in 10 customers pay electrically. 3 in 20 customers pay electrically. 3 in 10 customers. 3 out of 10 customers pay electrically. 3 out of 10 customers pay electrically. 3 out of 10 customers pay electrically. 3 in 10 people pay electrically. 9 in 10 customers in the convenience store use cash. According to the survey, 9 in 10 customers in the convenience store pay cash. Pay with cash. 9 out of 10 customers pay 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 in cash. 9 out of 10 customers pay in cash. 9 in 10 customers pay in cash. 9 in 10 customers pay cash. 9 in 10 customers pay in cash. 5 in 10 respondents on the questionnaire, on the street question, random questions answered in favor of the policy. 9 in 10 respondents answered that the economy was not improving. 9 in 10 respondents answered against the economy boom. 9 out of 10 respondents answered felt that the economy was not improving. 9 out of 10 respondents on the street felt that the economy was not improving. 9 out of 10 respondents felt that the economy was not improving. 5 in 6 students in the school go to a college after graduating. 1 in 20 students in the high school go to a foreign university after graduating. 1 in 30 students in the high school go to a foreign university after graduating. 1 out of 30 students go to a foreign university after graduating. According to the statistics, about 1 in 40 students go to a foreign university after graduating. According to the statistics, approximately 1 in 40 students go to a foreign university after graduating. According to the survey, 1 in 4 people are said to be obesity in the region. According to the statistics and survey, 1 in 4 people are obesity. 1 in 4 people are obesity. 1 in 4 people are obesity. 1 out of 4 people is obesity. 1 is out of people. 1 in 4 people is obesity. One in 4 people is obesity. 2 of 3 people are obesity. 2 of 3 people are obesity in the region. According to the survey, 1 in 7 students has difficulty in understanding the lecture. According to the survey, 1 out of 7 students is having a difficulty in understanding the lecture. 3 out of 5 students, 3 out of 5 students, 3 out of 5 products, 3 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 3 out of 5 products are defect. One out of 4 products are produced in the factory A. 2 out of 3 products are produced in the factory B. One in 100 chocolate packages include the gold card. 1 in 100 chocolate packages include the gold card. 1 in 100 chocolate cards include the gold card. 1 in out of 100 chocolate cards includes the golden card. 1 in 100 chocolate cards include chocolate packages includes the golden card. 1 out of 100 chocolate packages includes the golden card. According to the chief executive officer of the company, 1 in 100 chocolate packages includes the golden card. Such a good information for those eager to get golden card. 1 in 100 chocolate packages includes the golden card. 1 out of 100 chocolate packages include the golden card. I'm really indifferent to cards. I'm indifferent to cards. I'm almost indifferent to what everyone else is interested in. I'm really indifferent to what everyone else is interested in. I used to be indifferent to high school baseball tournament, but now I'm excited about it. I used to be indifferent to baseball, National Baseball Championship. I used to be indifferent to National High School Baseball Tournament. I used to be indifferent to National High School Baseball Tournament. I used to be indifferent to National High School Baseball Tournament. I used to be National High School Baseball Tournament. I used to be National High School Baseball Tournament. I used to be National High School Baseball Tournament. Don't turn your back. Don't turn your back on foreign affairs. Focus on not only internal but also foreign affairs. Do not turn a blind eye to foreign affairs. Do not turn a blind eye to foreign affairs. Please pay attention to not only internal but also foreign affairs. Please pay attention to draw attention to focus on concentrate on not only domestic but also foreign affairs. Foreign affairs. Foreign affairs. 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 Please pay attention to not only domestic affairs but also foreign affairs. Please pay attention to not only domestic but also foreign affairs. Please draw attention to not only internal but also foreign affairs. Okay? affairs, affairs, foreign affairs of Japan, foreign affairs of Japan, foreign ministry, foreign ministry, foreign affairs of Japan, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Japan. What has become of the singer? I haven't seen her on TV for a while. What has become of the singer? I haven't seen her on TV recently. What will become of our future if capitalism ends? What will become of Japan? The population has kept decreasing at this rate. I wonder what will become of Japan if the population continues to decrease at this rate. His skill is improving at an alarming rate, at a high speed. The car running behind me accelerated dramatically, accelerated at high speed, at a high pace. The music band is popular on a global scale. The country is taking over territory at an alarming rate. At an alarming pace. Weather variation is happening at an alarming rate, at an alarming pace, at an alarming rate. Natural disasters are being given rise to at an alarming rate, at an alarming pace. I wonder what will become of Japan if the population keeps decreasing at this rate. What will become of Japan if the population keeps decreasing? I wonder what will become of Japan. I wonder what will become the future of Japan if the population keeps decreasing at this rate. Security treaty was deepened. Both the relations between the country A and B was deepened after the convention, meeting, summit talks. Security treaty. Both country A and B put importance on the existence of security treaty for both of them. Both country A and B emphasized the importance of security treaty. Both country A and B emphasized the importance of the security treaty. Security treaty. Security treaty. Security treaty. Security treaty. 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 Security treaty. Security treaty. Security treaty. Security treaty. As far as I know, the security treaty was signed back in 1952. Security treaty. Security treaty. Security treaty. Security. 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 Security camera. Security. Security treaty. Security treaty. Security treaty. Security treaty. Security treaty. Both country A and B emphasized the importance of security treaty for both of their benefits. Security treaty. Some people eat food beyond the use by date. Some people don't care about eating food beyond the use by date. Some people don't care about eating food beyond the use by date. Some people don't care about eating food beyond the use by date. Unfortunately, my contract was not extended after my contract had been expired with the company. Unfortunately, my contract was not extended when the contract expired. Unfortunately, my contract with the company was not extended after it had expired. While I was cleaning the drawers, I found my old passport, realizing it expired. As soon as I realized it, I renewed my passport so that I can have a foreign trip again after coronavirus. When I was cleaning my drawers, I found my old passport and realizing it had been expired. As soon as I realized it, I went to the office specializing in passport or internal affairs. I had my new passport issued. I got my new passport issued. When will your passport expire? When will your passport expire next? Please notice when your passport will expire before you go on a foreign trip. Please make sure that when your passport expires before you go on a trip to a foreign country, because some country has the restrictions of how many months or years are left to your passport. Otherwise, you cannot enter. Expire. Expire. 3 in 5 people. 3 in 5 people. 3 out of 5 people. 3 in 5 people. 3 in 5 things. 3 in 5 people. 3 out of 5 people. 3 out of 5 people. 3 out of 5 people. 3 in 5 people. 3 in 5 people. 3 in 5 people. 3 in 5 people. 3 out of 5 people. 3 out of 5 people. 3 in 5 people. 3 in 5 people. 3 in 5 things. 3 in 5 things. 3 out of 5 things. 3 in 5 things. 3 in 5 things. 3 in 5 people. 3 in 5 people. 3 in 5 things. 3 out of 5 things. 3 out of 5 things. 3 out of 5 things. One out of 7 students are having difficulty in keeping pace with the lecture. 1 out of 7 students is having difficulty in keeping pace with the lecture. One in 20 students in a university takes the same year again for failing to earn enough credits. 1 in 10 students seems to take the same year again for failing to earn enough credits. 2 or 3 out of 100 students take the same year again. 2 or 3 students out of 100 students in the university tend to take the same year again for failing to earn enough credits. 3 in 5 people. 3 in 5 people. 3 in 5. 3 in 5 people. 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 3 out of 5 people. 3 in 5 people. 3 out of 5 people. 3 in 5 people. 3 out of 5 people. 3 out of 5 destinations. 3 out of 20 passengers claimed for the compensation. 2 out of the 50 passengers were injured. 3 out of 50 passengers were injured. 1 out of 5 destinations was skipped for a reason. 1 out of 6 destinations was skipped. 1 out of 6 destinations was skipped. 1 in 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 5 destinations was skipped. 1 in 5 destinations was skipped. 1 out of 5 destinations was skipped. 1 out of 5 destinations was skipped. 1 out of 7 destinations was skipped. 1 in 7 destinations was skipped. 1 out of 20 passengers leave their belongings inside the bus. According to the statistics, 1 out of 10 passengers in the bus leave their belongings inside when they get off. According to the statistics, 1 in 20 passengers leaves his or her belongings inside the bus. 3 in 5 people. 3 in 5 people. 3 in 5 people. 3 in 5 people. 3 out of 5 people. 3 out of 5 people. 3 in 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 5 people. 3 out of 5 people. 3 in 5 people. 3 out of 5 people. Okay, I will finish speaking here. Thank you for watching. See you next time. See you!